Hello, everyone. We're back. We're finally back. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Back in the saddle, baby.
Still a while to the season, but we're getting there.
Right. Man, we're less than 3 weeks away. Back. It's only football, otherwise known as two guys and one camera. And man, we're 3 weeks away, and lots of transfers to recap on from our perspective, and to kind of rate how certain teams have been doing.
If they've improved, if they've not improved, have they fixed their problems, are they avoiding problems? A lot of it, and it doesn't look like we will. I don't know. I'm very disappointed with Juve at the moment, as probably you are with Man United.
Yeah, absolutely.
But every other team seems to be doing their job, especially Barca.
Especially Barca's just holding everyone to ransom. Really, it's like you're gonna do it on our time. We're gonna get this done, and we're gonna get it done. Let's start with Barca. Let's just start with them. Let's start with probably the marquee signing of the offseason thus far is Robert Lewandowski for 50 million euros that Barca somehow pulled out of their ass. So
they've been on a roll since January, since getting Xavi, I guess. Mm-hmm. It didn't,
they're backing him somehow.
They got him pretty he won't be coming till next year, and they said no, we want him now. We got him now.
So who's this?
Xavi. Remember, because he came from not Saudi Arabia, but Qatar, and they didn't want to release him until the end of the season.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about a player that they brought in.
No. Yeah. And ever since then, he got him and said, "Yeah, you know what? We'll do Torres. Yeah, you know what? We'll do Aubameyang. Yeah, you know what? We'll do. What else did they get
in January?
Someone else. We're missing any.
I think we are. I think we are, but those were the main two. I'm not.
I guess Traore, but that doesn't really count, right?
No, Traore would have been. I think it would have been the one. Yeah, actually, would have been the one. Yeah, on loan. But yeah, somehow they're in, $1 billion in debt.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, they are. They 100% are. It's weird how the debt works. United's in a growing debt since the Glazers bought them, right? And that, but it's not like this. This seems like whatever the Glazers have finessed in terms of plunging the team into debt is legal. It keeps the team afloat. I don't know how these things work, but Barca's debt has always sounded in the last year very dire.
Yes,
extremely dire, and it's it's they managed to weasel their way out of it completely. They bring Lewandowski for 50 million euros.
Yeah.
Then before that they bring Rafinha for 70. Yeah, I want to say 70 million euros. Yeah, it was 60 million pounds, right? And who have they sold? No one.
They have people on the out list, but they haven't got rid of them. And pretty much they've only got rid of Longley's wages for a year, not even on a transfer.
Yes, so that's on loan. Yeah,
decent on loan as well.
Sorry,
Trincao.
Sure,
he was never going to make the team after all those signings.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much no one. I think
that's it. And De Jong, they agreed De Jong with United.
Yes.
And De Jong, well, that's the thing. Is they owe De Jong 17 million. I think it's euros.
Yeah.
They owe him a lot of money.
Wages?
And deferred wages from when teams or players were taking pay cut when the team was on its ass. And they still currently are. But now De Jong has always been reluctant to join United anyway. Yeah. United and Ten Hag are extremely hell bent on getting him, which it's just really ugly at this point for United. But the big thing is that Barca United 2 weeks ago agreed a deal at 55 million.
It was
plus. No, the
official agreement with.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago, and it was 55 million. And plus 20 in add-ons. But now in the last week, since there's been delays with De Jong, apparently it's actually been bounced up to 65 straight up. And then 10 million in add-ons. And so it's just United are just getting dicked around completely, like they always do.
Well, it's just by the player, right? He doesn't want to leave. If he doesn't want to leave.
You know what? He also he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't, but I think more and more it's he liked to post a couple days ago from a Barca fan saying that the Barca fan saying I really don't like how we treat De Jong in this situation, and he liked it, which says a lot. It does say a lot, and I think now it's more you owe me money.
And I don't want to leave until you owe it to me.
And United cannot bow to that and be like, we'll pay it. That would be so embarrassing.
But you won't complain because you got the job.
Honestly, okay. Well, now
it'll just make you look weak going forward.
We can come back to Barca, but let's just kind of transition to United for a second. And look at how poorly they've done their business, because they set roughly, apparently, £120 million budget for Ten Hag's first season in charge off the back end of their worst PL season
in history.
The worst PL season, straight up. And so it's for a club of that size, it's a very small budget. It shouldn't be that small anyway. And the whole thing with the De Jong deal and how it's affected United's transfer is that they've always wanted to see how much they were going to spend up front on De Jong, so they'd know how much they had left over to spend on other players. Yes. So when Timber seemed like almost a certainty at the beginning of June for £30 million, like that was like honestly like on the table. It was right there. He wanted to come. They were at that time willing to let him go for that much because they had sold a bunch of their players, right?
Yeah.
And Anthony probably would have got that deal done. Anthony probably for around 50, I would say. Now, like they push it back. Ajax has sold a bunch of the players. I'm excited about Lisandro Martinez.
Does he start?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So him and Varane?
I should hope so. Maguire, captain in name only.
I don't know if he starts right away. And you would think him and Varane would start, but what are you going to do with Maguire?
That's fine. That's fine. Martinez has to start because you know what? It's a player that Ten Hag obviously coached, and like a lot of people are really big on. I was focused on Timber last like season and a half, and never really. Maybe a bit of the age thing too. It's like, oh, Timber's like 19 when I first saw him.
You liked him young.
and Martinez is he's a little aged. He's 24.
Yeah.
But apparently is amazing on the ball. Short but really good in the air. 5'9", but great in the air. And his recovery pace is excellent. So both Timber and Martinez were 5'9", 5'10" respectively. But those, when healthy, were their starting center backs. That was their pairing.
And they only conceded. Well, it was
near the end. It got up to like 20.
Yeah, but at one point it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and that was like half
January.
The season. Yeah, it was crazy. It was actually insane. And that's a high line and recovery pace, right?
Yeah.
So Martinez, and he's left-footed. We finally have a left-footed defender. Finally, apart from Luke Shaw.
We don't have ourselves.
So he has to walk on that team, and so back to the point is that they wound up what. I think if you actually went for Martinez at the beginning of June as well, again, I think it's £30 million.
Yeah.
Again, I actually do. That's £30 million for me, probably. And then it went up to 40, and then it's I'm hearing it's 55 million euros. I'm hearing rumors that with the bonuses, it's actually 55 million pounds.
No, I don't. It's a big difference, but I don't know if he starts right away. I think he eventually starts, and Maguire has to see the door, but I don't know if he starts right away.
I think he absolutely has to. Maybe Varane doesn't start.
So Maguire and
it should be Varane and Martinez. I think everyone agrees with that, right?
But at this point, unless Maguire has some turnaround season. But he's not really good with the ball, and Ten Hag,
he's okay with the ball.
No,
he's not as good as he thinks he is. That's my thing.
He's not good.
That's my thing. He runs, then he turns
you
around.
Of all people, I don't expect to defend, but he can't dribble. He can't play passes. He's not good on the ball.
He thinks he is.
He was never good on the ball.
He thinks he's good on the ball. I don't think he's as bad as you're making him to be, but he's definitely not as good as he thinks he is.
How many turnovers did he make this year?
I know. He also runs into like acres of space, and then then just makes a little like six foot pass to the side. It's really annoying. It's like, just go back. Let's go back. That's the thing. That the line is going to be so high with Ten Hag. He's not going to be able to deal with it. They push up so high. Their center backs are.
He has no recovery pace.
No, exactly. So I honestly think he's captain in name, and I hope this might be wishful thinking that he just kept Maguire's captain, to not really ruffle any feathers. I disagree with it.
I would ruffle feathers.
Absolutely, I agree.
This is
I agree.
how it is now. Sorry, Maguire,
100%.
You're not that person anymore, and no one really respects you in the dressing room, right? So how could you be a captain if you can't gather respect? And even if pep talks, I can only imagine him saying, "Hey guys, just play hard." I can't imagine how it is.
Well, you've seen post matches too, like after like a loss and stuff, and it's like there's no fire. It's just like it's a wet blanket, and no accountability. Never accountability for him at all. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. Again, the midfield, you lose Matic, you lose Pogba, you still don't have De Jong. You needed, as United, 2 midfielders anyway. But the focus, anyway, even with Pogba and Matic there, but the focus is strictly De Jong, which, I'd be excited for, and like Ten Hag would love it. But you still need to bring in a second one. And Tielemans is sitting there for 30 million.
And it could be the very backup of De Jong doesn't pull through.
Yeah, but the thing is that
you're not going to get both.
I know.
So if you're going to pick one, you wait for De Jong and then...
And we're still linked to Antony. And like, we're not getting Antony. Antony's going to be like 70 million easy now. Pounds. I'm saying pounds. I'm saying at this point, I think you could have gotten 50 million pounds tops.
Maybe 60. I don't think so.
At the beginning of June?
Maybe 60 tops.
Bro, they just sold Martinez. Center backs and forwards don't go... Like, generally the prices, there's difference.
I guess it depends. But they need a bad season from Antony and then pick them up next year because I think they have enough on the wings at the moment. You got to give Rashford and Martial a fair shake now that they're back, see what they're like, and then after a year, you make your decision and say, okay, I'm getting rid of one of these two, maybe both, maybe none. But then you have your answer for a winger.
See, the thing is for me though, Mike, is that right now, I think you still need Antony. You do, even with Martial and Rashford back under a new manager. I'm excited for Martial. I'm pulling for Rashford. I'm not, he's very one dimensional to me, and he's very frustrating. Martial can be frustrating as well. Don't get me wrong. There might be some bias there, but Martial is just better at holding the ball and linking up as well. Yeah. There's more to his game that I think could flourish under Ten Hag. It could, and hopefully the same for Rashford. I just don't see it.
Scored in both games.
Yes, they has. We smashed Liverpool 4-0. Like
those are 3 bad goals.
Just give us action. I was listening. I was listening to it. I didn't watch it.
Horrible defending.
Yeah, it sounded like it. It sounded like it.
Timbit soccer defending.
Yeah. Very smashed. Just give us a trophy now.
The memes were Ten Hag convincing De Jong to play for them with the trophy. we win trophies here.
Yeah, the Bangkok was it?
Bangkok Cup.
Bangkok Cup. Hey man, first one in 5 years. No, I still think you need Antony anyway. For definitely the way we play, someone to pick out Ronaldo, like because he's very good crossing the ball. But like, just think about the depth. It's light, man. Alonga is.
He's young.
He's young, and it's like you can't depend on him too much.
No, you won't be dependent on him, but he'll feature every now and then.
Exactly, but it shouldn't be as much as as much as we're actually relying on him. Like in terms of let's see Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's going to stay. I don't think he realizes anywhere to go. But Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford, Martial, both very inconsistent. Sancho inconsistent last year as well. I think he'll do well under Ten Hag. And Alonga. That's it, Mike. There's only 5 players. Diallo? Yes. No, Diallo's probably going long. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with him.
Probably.
I don't know what's happening with him, but yeah, it's not enough. And
it's never going to be enough in a transfer window though. Unless if you're PSG last year and that didn't pan out, but that was the perfect.
Or if your team's more or less set and you're adding crown jewels like
Holland
at City.
He's frustrated there. That'd be a good pickup.
I
just thought of that.
I hadn't heard anyone mention that. Would he do it though? Would he go to United? That's the thing. Yeah. And I don't see him. I don't see him like that. He seems like someone. He had a great time in Liverpool. I think he would honor that. Yeah. Almost everyone does. Poland's is like one of like 2 players. Yeah. So, and they're not, and a lot of them like aren't feeders of the ball like Antony is. Along as it's not really like they're all like kind of like very attack-minded wingers.
So Antony's also small though, right? In EPL durability, it could be a problem.
It could be, but there's plenty of players who've done well, like Juan Mata, Bernardo Silva.
Those are David Silva, but those are like really, really clever. class players. I'm not saying
Anthony has that potential, though.
He's potential, but he's not really class yet.
No, he's not. And
they usually
they're busy, but he did very well in Champions League.
And they were proven them like I know Anthony's proven in the Dutch league, but like
and Champions League. That's the thing, though. Is that you look at these players and that team, those two teams that Ten Hag accrued, and it's because they were getting sold for a lot of money or getting a lot of interest because of how they did in Champions League.
Yeah, well, fair point. You're not going to get all. You have a big wish list. And you're not going to get it all.
Well, that's because they fucked it at the beginning.
We were never going to get a big wish list.
That's because you did say it. You did say it. You said it like when the season ended, and I was like, man, I think we can just knock the Timber, probably get Anthony. De Jong's going to come, and then we'll keep rolling. It's like get a second midfielder. It's a new manager. It's crazy. But that's the state that my clamshell club's in. Let's move on to yours.
Oh,
Juventus, man, they're hurting. Man.
We got our two big free signings. Di Maria, Pogba, finally official in training. So that's it's official, but that's it. That's all we're gonna get, and we're gonna lose out. De Ligt, we lost out. I don't know why we sold him. 80 million, same price we paid to get him in. So
was he really that disgruntled? He was key last year, and it's like the team was kind of.
I think he was just tired. I don't think he saw Juve winning the league this year, and he just I
win some trophies.
I came here to win some trophies. I got 2 leagues. Yeah, I know. I didn't really play as much as I wanted because I was still.
He's won 2? No.
Yeah, it's first 2 years.
He's been there for 4 years.
Yeah,
I thought it was 3. Wow. Okay.
He came. What was it?
Yeah, no, it was after that semifinal. Like I said, it was 4 years ago.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Okay.
Yeah. He got two.
19,
2 leagues. Yeah.
Spurs, Liverpool. That was 1920. Right?
No, that was
18-19.
18-19.
Okay. All right. No.
Yeah, because it was after the Real trouble.
Right.
But yeah, losing. We came out net 0. From the 4 years when we bought him, so at least we didn't lose money on that. But knowing that we need for center backs, why get rid of one?
No idea.
We should keep him and get Pau Torres.
No, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, in my mind, much like the United midfield problem, I'm looking at your center back issue with Bonucci basically done, Keeley done.
Yeah.
And already he was kind of thin anyway. I was thinking you needed 2 before you let go of De Ligt. That's where I was at.
Yeah, we sold them Demiral.
Yeah. Atlanta picked up that option, which was. He didn't have a great Atlanta. I thought maybe they let him go back, but there's a player there. But yeah, so you lost him.
Now we're relying on Gatti, the young guy. Rugani, he's there, but he's not. He's just a body. But he might be used more because we have nobody. Bonucci will probably play 20, 25 games, I assume. He might have to play more. Danilo might have to be thrown in there, but then we don't have a right back. So Quadrado probably. We're going to do a lot of shuffling. We need.
You're asking players to play positions that they're not really
exactly
proficient enough. But
I guess if we get rid of De Ligt, 80 million, you can get Bremner for 40, Milinkovic maybe for 15, and then
you have 2.
We have 2 for the price of 1, right? I guess that's the way they're looking at it. But still, you're going to have Milinkovic is going to be probably the 4th option, maybe 3rd option. Maybe 3rd option.
It's desperate, man. Like it's really desperate for you guys. I mean, like even Milinkovic to me is a dice roll. Brenner had a great season at Turin. He's wanted by a lot. Sometimes it doesn't pan out. Sometimes if someone makes a move, it falls through. I think there's someone to rely on there, and I think
hopefully
you have to push.
Yeah, I think it might be done in the next few days.
Yeah, it looks like you scuppered
just using half the money.
Oh my goodness, I was picking at this little scabs. I couldn't stop picking at it. And it's all over this.
He's hungry for soccer.
I'm leaking.
He's so anxious. He's scratching himself.
The ooze. Yeah. So anyway, and even the rest of your team though, like there's still so much for you guys to do. You haven't done anything.
The rest of the team, the midfield maybe, but that's about it. I think we're pretty set everywhere else. We got Di Maria, Chiesa, Vlahovic. That's a front 3.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I love Chiesa. I do. I think so. Yeah, hopefully he stays.
We might get Zaniolo as well. Mm-hmm. That's optimistic.
Yeah.
But if we can get Milinkovic and Bremner, we were going after.
But where's your depth though? What happens? Di Maria is what, 34, 35?
Yeah, but he's playing in a Italian league. It'll be easy for him.
He can still get injured.
He could get injured.
Where's your depth? Where's your depth?
We
Murat's gone, which
might get him back.
You probably will.
Is he the rumor? He's what's the rumor with him? That he's like I'll come back to that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, they used to use him to defer money.
Like bankruptcy,
They're washing the laundering.
Money laundering. He's like the money laundering transfer because it's like every team that signs him, like why are they signing him? And then it's just like they must have some like money baggage in every transfer that he does. But we do. Our depth isn't that bad. It isn't too
Mike,
bad.
I disagree.
It's not the worst.
He says things like you are really bummed out about your midfield.
The midfield I'm not too mad about now.
I always thought that was probably going to this transfer window your strongest in most and then just like liveliest and
that's what we should have went.
You have the depth and you were getting Pogba in too, right? So I mean, who you got Locatelli, you got Pogba. Is Archer gone?
No, he's not.
He's not. Who else is kicking around?
McKennie, we got Rabella, Zakaria.
Uh-huh.
Not too bad. This is wishful thinking, right? But yeah, up top, not a lot of depth, but we have quality for what is there. Right?
One injury, you're fucked.
Hey,
one injury and you were fucked. And you know what? If Zaniolo is the one that you're bringing in, I like Zaniolo, but again, that's a man injury prone. Yeah. Fuck, these are season-long injuries. Like usually, the season-long injuries, like okay, it's kind of like a one-off. It's not like a recurring kind of thing. But both ACLs.
Yeah, both ACLs.
I like him. I'm pulling for him. I hope this is having
a case. Don't worry. No, we'll see in Europa League. Don't worry.
What?
We'll see Man United in Europa League.
Are you saying it knocked out in the group stage?
Depending on what group we're in,
yeah.
I think we might. I think we might.
That's what you're saying.
If we get like what if we get Leverkusen?
Oh yeah, sure.
We're done.
I agree. I think
we're done.
Leverkusen making moves, man, and they retained Schick too. For me. That was the most important thing, and most impressive thing that they've done. Who else did they brought in though? They made another good move. It was like, oh wow,
Frankfurt might be this.
Can you just don't worry about it? I can't think of who else they brought in. But they made another nice move that I liked. The Schick thing was huge. I thought Schick was going to be Lewandowski's just natural replacement, but no,
they're done.
At least not for another year. They'll be paying for the ass. We'll see how Bayern next year if they're really desperate to find that striker. Like, is Mane going to be playing like up top for them, which he kind of was for Liverpool? Down the stretch at the end of the season?
I guess Nagelsmann. He still usually uses
they just re-signed Gnabry. They don't have a recognized number 9.
I know, not anymore. Did they have Choupo-Moting still? That's a recognized striker.
I mean, yes, I believe they do. I think Xerxes is going to Bologna, it seems like.
Really?
On a permanent deal.
How would you do that?
He was at Hellas last year. I don't know if you noticed that. He was pretty quiet. Did you know he was there?
I guess.
Did you know he was there?
No.
Fair enough. But
he was highly touted, wasn't he?
He was, but he fell right off. Like he felt like he was at Hellas, and I think then Anderlecht. I think he might have split last year. It might have been
one or the other. Yeah.
But he's when he came in and scored like 3 goals in his first 3 touches or some shit. Yeah. Something stupid like that. and then that was it. Just big time flash.
Just the system, I guess.
Flash in the pan. Okay, Mike. I had a list.
Just going by teams, or are we going by? Just our teams are crap. Our teams are crap. That's what we sum off.
We're shit. But honestly, Pau Torres, and again, I'm back on Marco Senesi. That's the one for me. It's Marco Senesi and Pau Torres
for you.
For Juve, and I think you can get those done.
You got Bremner.
Fuck, get all 3.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I think you need 3 defenders.
We're not going to get it. I'm being realistic.
What, all 3? Of course not.
I don't know. We could have third.
That would be
maybe comfortable, but 4th is looking a lot better with Napoli falling. But Roma, I'm still kind of worried about.
I I can see that.
But
I can see that. I mean, okay.
Top 4 should be the goal for
quickly
us.
with Roma, Italy's so quiet. Like the finances in Italy they're not good. And it was such a great season last year. I was excited for it all year. It really.
You were a bit optimistic. Even I love Mourinho, but you had them coming top 4.
I did.
Yeah, I was like, that's a bit too much. But this year, top 4, realistic. Yes, yeah. Very realistic.
I mean, they won the Conference League 2 last year. You guys' trophy. I have them for the Copa del Rey, Copa Italia again.
Okay,
I'm back in on it. I took him last year too. I'm like, he's gonna win a trophy. I didn't even consider the Conference League. Didn't even consider it.
He got the tattoo as well.
I heard about that. I haven't seen it.
It's not. He could have got a way better tattoo.
What is it? It's just like him.
All 3 trophies.
Okay.
All 3 European trophies. UEFA.
The Conference League, the biggest one.
And technically, he has the UEFA Cup, so he's won 4 different. Even though one is pretty much the same, renamed. But yeah, Roma, picking up Juve's garbage. When I say garbage, I mean it respectfully. Dybala, he wanted 10 million a year at Juve. We offered him 7 plus bonuses, turned it down.
Then Inter didn't meet that.
Inter, I think, only offered 6. He turned that down,
and then Inter was like, fuck you, because that's what he's getting at Roma, right?
4.5. I've read 6.
Yes, I've read 6.
But a lot of people, maybe it's 4.5 with bonuses that pretty much guarantee that it's going to be
6. Yeah,
6.
As long as it stays healthy.
He lost this free agent battle, stalled the stand time.
I remember Roma. I was like, oh, someone's going there. I'm like, surely Inter with someone's like Roma. Ooh. Like, no disrespect to Roma, but like, Dybala obviously considers himself like a top class player, and he obviously has the ability, but. Yeah,
it's a pretty big downfall. It sucks. At that point, you should, as I said, you should just eat your pride and say, "Juve, I'll come back. I'll even take 6 to come back." Yeah, just eat your pride, and then Pogba's back, your best friend. You're not leaving. You're in a comfortable situation. You get a chance to prove yourself again. But that's how it works sometimes. Yeah,
he burned himself. Big time. He should just come back. 20 million euro release clause is reported for that. So I think that was like something for him too. Is like, if I can perform for Roma in this season and like garner some proper attention, then I can basically just go anywhere I want. Like if I'm good enough this season, that's probably part of Roma getting him into. It's like, yeah, okay.
Does the team decide that, or is that team with the player for the release clauses?
That's if it's met by a club and the player agrees, that's it.
Okay, so the player can agree to the release clause.
Like if another team comes in.
No, so
that's
part
of the contract. Yeah.
Okay.
No, why would you?
Because Pedri
why would you
has like
$1
billion release clause now.
Contract,
okay,
yeah, for sure.
So that way you make sure you stay there.
Yeah.
Unless someone else really wants you.
Mm-hmm. Quickly back to Barca. Quickest one. Ousmane Dembele. I'm happy he stayed for both of them. Actually, he was so great. He was so great by Dortmund. And
it was 5 years ago. Can you believe that?
Lots to sit, man. And he's been injured and like poor attitude, but he finally really got together this year. He looked great, and I was worried for him with all these like Chelsea links.
Is it great though?
PL links.
I think it's good too, but now he's just so much more competition.
It's okay.
Rafinha.
I think can Rafinha play off the left? I was seeing he was always on the right, but like
I think he could, but he also got Aubameyang.
That's right up top.
Depay
needs to leave. I can't believe this guy's saying I don't want to leave. You're not going to play. You want to be in that World Cup squad? You're not going to play. You need to go now. Now, Chelsea.
Yes, they're going to EPL. We're pretty much done with all the other big teams, right?
Yeah, elsewhere.
Serie A, Inter, they're really good. Mkhitaryan to Inter.
Again, Italy, very quiet. Very, very quiet. Like, I really want to see it. And I said it, too, I think even before the season was done, for Milan, especially. It's like, they've had a great year. And, like, they lose Kessie. So that's Barca, another good pickup right there.
We forgot. You got Eriksen.
And we got Eriksen.
Midfielder.
Midfielder. That's an attacking midfielder, Mike.
Yeah, but he can maybe play deep line and break some lines.
Again, besides De Jong?
It would only be one or the other. I don't think it would be like Yes, technically there'll be two.
No, Fred and McTominay are like not very good defenders anyway. I'm actually curious about Fred under Ten Hag.
Fred wasn't so bad in the friendlies that I saw. You can tell that he doesn't have the capabilities to play the way that Ten Hag does, but he still gets in position, in the right position. He's still not bad. Like he gets a lot of.
Are you thinking that Eriksen's going to come to pivot? Or
if they don't, if I think De Jong is there, that the pivot. That's
only
pivot.
One though. That's one person.
Yes, but
why is Fred McTominay actually going to be starter? One of them is going to be a starter. That's an issue.
Yes,
and you can't do Eriksen, De Jong, and Bruno.
It'll probably be Fred, De Jong, and Bruno.
Yes, most likely. I wonder what's going to happen with Eriksen, because does Eriksen suit?
I think he can.
I'm intrigued.
It's not a bad sign. I think it was under anyone
they paid way too much.
Bully or any other manager. I don't think it would work out. But with Eriksen, Eriksen, he's technically gifted, and he knows how to whip in a ball. He knows how to switch the ball, right? Because Ten Hag is a lot of switching the ball and playing that inside pass and taking advantage of that space and then breaking a line. And everyone has to be on the same page.
Being patient with the ball, which Bruno is not.
But he's learning. And
I should hope so. And that's the thing.
You should watch the highlights.
He's been steady. I will. I know. I need to.
They're moving. Like you could tell his Ten Hag's idea, and just the players can't really execute it, right?
Fucking issue. I will.
But they are getting better. They're playing a lot better.
I was just listening to the Liverpool one.
I guess Chelsea.
Koulibaly.
Yeah. They stole it from Juve. They stole him from Juve.
40 million euros?
Yeah. But Juve didn't have a chance. Napoli said they'll sell him to anyone except for Juve.
Good for them. Good. I mean, after like Higuain but the thing is that they lose Christensen, they lose Rudiger especially, and then they're also so they're we were just talking about this before we went live. It's like they're just doing their youngsters dirty, Let's Koulibaly. Okay, so focus on him. How do you think? Let's start with Koulibaly before.
How do you think he's going to fit in the EPL?
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
I think it's a good pick for Chelsea. They're established.
Strong, physical. That aspect won't bother him. Like he'll still put up his own against top strikers physically. If you can bind to Tuchel's system. If you can bind to Tuchel's system, I think it will be pretty seamless of his quality. But alongside Thiago Silva, who will be turning 38 this year, they don't really have any center backs to back them up, right? They have Malang Sarr.
They have nobody.
Yeah.
They have nobody. I've always kind of didn't mind Malang Sarr, but it's not panning out. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I'm not gonna say he's done, but we'll see. But they're talking about, and I believe they'll do it too. These things that they're actually talking about, bringing two more,
center backs.
Yes, it was Ake and Kimpembe.
Is Ake
Ake looks like
he's staying.
It looks like he's going to stay, but then it's Koundé. So Barca and Chelsea are battling out for Koundé right now. That's the thing. Barca's fucking potentially playing Koundé as well. What is this?
We'll find out. We'll see how good financial fair play is. Because City really didn't get punished for their financial fair play.
Not at all. It was supposed to be 2 years of the Champions League. It was it'll be one top, and then they got nothing.
Did they pay a
hefty
fine?
I don't think so. Mike. I really don't think
so Barca's just looking at that and saying it doesn't exist.
We know it doesn't exist.
You can't penalize us until you penalize them.
We know it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're and again, I think Juve should do the same. Actually, bring 3 center backs, 2 minimum. But Chelsea are really actually pushing to get 3. The thing is that now I want to talk about Chelsea new ownership. It's still pushing out youth that they've it's a laundry list of young players who just haven't.
And they have a good academy, one of the best.
Actually, I know, but they fucking sell them all. I mean, Salah and De Bruyne will just top that list. Just to name a couple. Lukaku was one as well.
And then they ended up paying a hefty price to bring him back and
After
sell
a
him
long
again.
time. After a very long time.
And then sell him again.
And, so now Tammy Abraham, I think a lot of Chelsea fans really disagree. Tuchel came and won the Champions League. I don't think you can really not Tuchel too much. But Tammy Abraham, a lot of Chelsea fans regard that as a mistake. He had a great year at Roma.
Yeah.
Sensational. And was at the number 9 that, they actually were just waiting for. It's like, you always see these memes and these little videos of Chelsea's number 9 curse since Drogba left. And Tammy Abraham is on that list because he was somewhat inconsistent. There are times when he was flying. He was young. He's developing. He's kind of growing into his body. He's got a very kind of awkward build that, I think, at that age might, it's just kind of weird for him.
Yeah.
And, and then they let him walk. And
he's also playing in Serie A though, right? So it's different than the EPL. So having a good year there.
I mean, you say sorry. Today, Junior. Say the same thing for Lukaku. So.
But
But again, but now so where I'm going is that Armando Broja looks like he's going to join. They're going to sell him to West. They're just going to sell him to West Ham too.
Yeah, a London club.
And a good one. Like a team that's under Moyes has, bought really wisely. I don't know anything about this. They bring from the hall, left back or right back. They're running fullback from Ligue 1. I want to say
he's the left back.
I think and was it from Hall? Right?
I think so. I forget the name though.
Ron had a good year last year, but I didn't really know about him. But they're selling to West Ham, who's they've been pushing, and they need a number 9.
They do.
They need a number 9
because they don't have anyone to back up.
If they sell him, he's walking right into my fantasy football team.
Broja?
Yeah.
Was he 4.5? I guess.
No, he's 5.5.
I guess.
What do you mean? Why are you surprised?
5?
What? 5? Why are you surprised? I think it was 5.5 last year. What do you mean? He scored 6 goals.
Oh, striker. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah. I see it. I'm probably still gonna get a 4.5 striker.
Well, I have Delap right now. On City.
I'm
like, oh, please get loaned out to Southampton or some shit.
But yeah, Chelsea haven't really had the best transfer window.
No,
compared to what their rivals have done.
They did just bring new ownership. I'll grant that. I will grant that. It'll be curious. It'll be interesting to see.
But he wants to spend this owner. It seems like he does. He's talking like he does.
Fuck, man. Hey, it's another American owner that we'll see. That said, he does own the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
They seem to give a shit.
Yeah.
So,
Arsenal.
Well, quickly again, and back to the center back in Chelsea is Levi Colwill. Who I don't know much about. He had a great year at Huddersfield last year. I believe I was saying to you before. I'm pretty sure he scored the own goal that sent Nottingham through in the play-in.
So I love him.
Yeah, but really highly touted, a lot. And then Palace are like, if he wants to go, because he's waiting. He's waiting. It's another player that's they sold Gay to Palace last year.
Yeah,
and he was in there, week in week out.
He's there, and
they're looking at Cole. They're looking at Cole right now, and who's highly touted. And he's like, I'm ready to go for you, but if you're not going to play me, if you're going to bring in 2 more center backs, I'm out.
Yeah,
you bought 3 center backs and you have me, and I'm done. And good on. And that's it. It's Chelsea kind of shooting themselves in the foot in a lot of ways.
Are they going to come out of the top 4 the way it is right now?
No. I don't think so.
Still the third?
For me,
are they still the third team?
No, for me, I've already put in a wager that Spurs will win the league without City and Liverpool, so finish third.
I love how it's just worded like that.
Well, I guess. Well, no, because I guess it could be like Liverpool, City don't finish in the top 3, right? That's why. But let's be real. So I think it's Spurs, but I think Chelsea are 4th. I still think Chelsea are 4th. Let's do Arsenal.
Great window for them so far, I think. You don't think so?
I was like, wow, Arsenal are finally doing a lot of good business. They're moving fast. And then it just kind of slowed down, especially the Rafinha thing. Really just kind of took the wind out of the sails a little bit.
I don't think he was ever going there, though.
it seemed really close. Arsenal had it, and then Chelsea had it, and then Barca.
They must be. I don't know what.
So back on Barca. Back on Barca. Yeah. So I think it has been good. So Zinchenko done it today.
Dante.
Great pickup. I like Tierney. I like Kieran Tierney.
He's
Tierney
injury prone.
He's injury prone. And Nuno Tavares is absolutely dust.
Yes. He's not seeing the pitch anymore.
I think he's probably going to Turkey. I think I have seen a link for him to
Turkey. Yeah, it just didn't work out. They got Gabriel Jesus, I think, officially since
Paul Segues called him the worst player in the league.
Gabriel Jesus?
No, I have Nuno Tavares.
Oh. And who is the other? They're going to bring back who's the center back.
Oh, Salva, which I think is great. Yeah. I've always rated him. I thought it was a great sign at the time. There was kind of like that adjustment period where like he was really uncomfortable, and they loaned him back anyway. Last year at Marseille, absolutely killed it, and that's great. Gabriel's been linked to you, actually.
Yes, I don't think that's happening though.
I don't think so. Why would they sell him?
He's a starter for them.
Absolutely. I don't get it. I would push for it if I were you, but I don't get it at all. Some of these rumors like he's got to knock down right away. You know, like there's some it's like
yeah,
and that's one of
them. I'll take him, but I don't think he's coming. I don't think he's coming.
But Saliba I think that's great. Those are three. White, Saliba, and Gabriel are all center backs that can definitely do a job and push each other. And it's like who's gonna falter? You know, who's gonna let up, if any. So that's good for them. They haven't cut any of the deadwood, like United. Yeah. Like United, they haven't sold any players.
They're waiting until really too, right?
I don't know. See, that's another one for me where I'm like, that's why I'm like, Arsenal's window hasn't been as good as I think a lot of people think. Is like Tielemans, they were linked to during the season, and it was always going to be around like a steal at like 25 to 30 million. I think there could be a bidding war to get up to 40, and I'd still say even with a year left on his contract, it's worth it. For the likes of United and Arsenal, who need a midfielder and that can go box to box, right?
Yes.
And I thought they were going to get it done. It seemed like they get it done in the beginning of June.
I would, if I was Arsenal, I'd scoop them up just to screw over United.
I know. Right? It's not even screwing United. It's like you need him. You actually fucking need him.
The double. It's like not double jeopardy, but it's like.
See, the thing is though, is that United screw themselves because they're not even looking at him. They're not actually looking at him.
I think they're playing like they're not looking at him, but
they'll come. But then you know, if I'm Leicester and like think about how much Leicester, United's. You know, I'm sorry, we're back
increase it by 10.
By 10, like get that up to 40 right away. Arsenal can come in and be a little more casual, but I don't know why it's not done yet.
Just get it done now, so that way United are screwed if Dion tries to stay. They're like, okay, we have no other midfielder. Ericsson is, I guess, the only midfielder we're gonna get.
I would drop Bruno back in the pivot in that case. I actually would. I would play Bruno in the pivot and then Ericsson in number 10. Bruno's just a little more tenacious. You know, he's feisty, he's tenacious. He can't put a tackle in. It'd be fucking diabolical. Fred, Bruno, and that's James Garner coming. Anyway, enough about those pricks. Bless them. But Tielemans, I don't get it. That should be done. Xhaka should be gone. Nuno Tavares should be gone. You know, Tavares will be gone. He must. Once Zinchenko comes in, he's gone. So that's
did Torreira, has he left yet?
I don't think right? That's another one. That's another perfect example though. But I think Gattuso, who's now managing Valencia, wants him.
Okay. Yes. So it looks like he'll probably go there.
Yeah.
But again, they'll be knocking on the door top 4, and if they don't get it this year, I think maybe next year it might be for them. But it all depends on how the young core adapts again, right? Because that was pretty much like last year, the first season where like they were pretty much dependent on, you know, Smith Rowe given the 10, Saka given the 7, Martinelli come back from injury. Like they pretty much held their own and gave them. Now can they back it up and be even better? That's what the test is, I think, for Arsenal this year. And I think they signed smartly because, you know, they do have to improve their squad, but they don't want to sign someone too big to like kind of like stop their growth and development, right? So I think knowing that the team, the club backs them and he doesn't really feel the need to replace them, will really do well for their confidence. And knowing that they were right there and they slipped up against Newcastle, and that's pretty much gave it away, I think they'll come back stronger. But they'll be knocking right at the door.
Yeah, but I don't really have an issue with their young winners and everything, and their young attackers.
No, I don't think anyone has an issue with it.
No, yeah, I'm saying like it's that pivot that needs to be sorted. Even without this Partey thing, well, I'm not sure if that's died off or not, or
we'll see.
They're still looking into it. But even with Partey there, it's like you still needed like a proper like holding midfielder. Not who's the kid they brought in from Porto? I don't say Pereira.
Vieira. And like I don't know how it's gonna work.
We'll see. It could be someone that
just. And Marquinhos isn't gonna come this year, is he?
I'm not sure. I know nothing of him. Yeah. I know nothing of him. But that's like again more competition for Odegaard and some depth. I don't mind that sign.
The signing where
it's not a priority. It wasn't a priority, but you got it done, and that's fine. But the priority for me is that pivot. It's absolutely that pivot. We'll see what Lukonga can do next year. We had glimpses, and he was an interesting sign when they made it, but they needed someone else to pivot. And Thielman should be done. It should be done now. They need to get on that. It's really weird. I don't get it. I don't know.
Spurs we pretty much already covered. They made all their signings real early.
They've had an amazing window.
Now they have everyone ready for preseason.
The one thing, yes, they did it early.
Yeah.
And then they did a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you look at City, look at Liverpool, and, they made their signings early. But they were like, again, crown jewel signing, a very complete team, right? All in Nunez. But Spurs had a lot to do, and they acted fast. And I really commend them. The one thing I will say is that I like the Longley pickup because, for me, that back line, apart from Romero, is useless.
Shambolic.
Yeah. Very shambolic. Sanchez has moments, but he's also very, very error-prone. Dyer, to me, is, absolutely useless.
He's
He's dire. He's just that. It's in the name. But the one thing is that this Longley, someone who's like, okay, like how can he do a job? But like we need a body. We'll see what that's not a guaranteed thing. For me, the one thing missing is a Pau Torres. And I know you'd hate to hear that, but as a Spurs fan, fine, we bring in Longley for a season-long loan, but we need one like proper marquee center back signing. That's actually we're signing. That we're making a permanent deal.
Levy though. I think he's done it. I think even he knows. He's like, I think I've done enough, more than I usually do.
But you know what? Conte doesn't stand for that.
Yeah, but he's not the owner.
Conte will leave.
Yeah, he will. Levy will learn the hard way, but
there's been no rumors.
I think he's willing to take that chance to learn the hard way.
There's what? Conte leaving?
No, Conte. I think he's done enough for Conte won't leave.
For this year.
Yes.
No. He's not leaving this year. No, by any stretch. But. And then
I'm talking about next year. You get Pau Torres. Not you can't get it all in one window.
Why not? What have they? Like what are they spent? Richarlison was 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Longley's season-long loan.
Yep.
Who are we missing here? Okay, Basuma. What a signing! Yeah. What a fucking signing! And that's what kills me. It's like how is United not looking at that? Going into this transfer window, I would have brought in 3 midfielders straight up. And Basuma would have been honestly top of that list. Tchouaméni would have been great. Dion would be nice, but Basuma 25.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, I don't know. That to me is a sign of it's the deal. It's the deal of the summer, 100%. So what? 25. Richarlison 50. What I feel like I'm forgetting.
Well, you're retaining Bentancur, right?
Kulusevski's not till next year though, right?
Kulusevski's not till next year, so he's still on loan. But Bentancur, I think, is this year.
And how much was that?
Probably 20. Yeah, right? Probably 20.
So you can't even tell me.
Perisic
was a free.
Yeah.
You can't even tell me that, I'm sure they sold a couple players too. They brought in like a backup. They bring Forster in, I forget.
I think you're right.
Anyway, which was so what? So we're looking at maybe 100 tops.
That's a lot for them. What has Levy done at 100? the last time?
I mean,
that's my point. That's my point.
That shouldn't. That's
he's already done more than he's ever done. So he's like, what else do you need? I'm giving you more than I had any other manager, and I had Pochettino for 5 years, right? I'm just looking the way that Daniel Levy's thinking.
But I'm looking at it like, you want to retain. You've actually you're cultivating a team here under Conte that is rejuvenated. That Kane wants to stay. He wants to.
Says he wants to stay.
I think he does. For a good year. No. I think the Spurs team.
He's going to give a good year under Conte, but if he doesn't if they don't reach the goals that he hopes they do, mm-hmm. I think he will say, all right, enough's enough. I got to join him.
Well, yeah, but Bayern's been talking up King, like Oliver Kahn was talking up King. I could see it. I could see that in a year's time if it doesn't really pan out.
Yeah.
They might not win a trophy this year. Maybe they don't. But
Bayern?
No.
They're not going to win a trophy. They might reach a final, but I don't think they're going to win a trophy. Mm. It's unfortunate, but it's just the life of a Spurs fan.
Yeah, but for me, again, Pau Torres is at a steal. I think this like release clause is around 45 or 50.
Yeah, 50.
Do it.
A lot of teams haven't done it yet, so why haven't? Right?
It is up.
That's what's like worrying.
Has he been turning down? He's proven he's great on the ball.
No, I'm just saying why hasn't he just paid the release clause?
But has he turned anyone down behind closed doors? That's what I wonder. That could be a thing. That could be a thing.
I guess maybe I don't know.
I feel like you would agree about it, but it is odd. He's won the Europa League. He plays for Spain. He starts week in week out for. Since he's been there, a solid Villarreal team. He's always up and down, but they've been solid since
semi-finalists. Took out Juve, took out Bayern.
Yeah, I know.
I should just take out Bayern.
He's a great ball playing center back too. He's a very good ball playing center back. Solid recovery pace. I don't know. So,
he's left-footed.
Any rumors or anything? Any before we wrap up here, and anything that in the set like a Tielemans, like anything that you think should be done for a certain team.
There's still, there really isn't anyone that's still free agent, right? I'm just honestly, I don't know why West Ham hasn't got Lingard.
Yes, we haven't mentioned Lingard.
Still hasn't signed.
I think that's on him. I honestly think he's expecting United money, or even close to it. But really, I'd say if West Ham do have money, are you putting Lingard on $100,000 a week? I'm not.
No, but if
He's probably
80. I'll say, hey, here's 80. You want to play in the EPL and have a chance to play in a World Cup under Southgate? Mm-hmm. This is what you're going to have to take, right? If you want to play for England in World Cup, this is what you have to take. That's it. And then maybe they have offered him that, and he's like, okay, I'll do it for this, and they just walks away. But I'm pretty sure we would have heard about that by now. So maybe he's just waiting for like the perfect club or system or team that plays the system he likes for him to flourish. But that's the only person that I'm shocked haven't been signed yet. And at this point, I'll take him at Juve.
You don't mean that.
I do.
What?
I don't mind.
Who's opening up against Juve for him to run into space? That's when he's effective.
We can make it happen.
He can't break down.
He can make it happen.
He can't break down teams.
Him and Pogba.
He can't break lines.
He
cannot break lines.
Hey, I'll take him.
No, you won't.
I would take him.
No, you'd be a fucking utter waste of time.
I'll take him.
Utter waste of time.
We're gonna get Zaniolo, but
if he goes to Serie A, he's to swallow. That's his level. That's a team where it's
really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because against bigger teams, and the pressure's more back on the back heel, then you can break.
Wait, did Raspadori go to Inter? Where is he still in Sassuolo?
I think so.
No one. We went from going. We'll just replace Dybala with Raspadori to not even having him in our wish list. I just thought about that.
I know, buddy. We're both of our respective clubs are a mess. I at least have Ten Hag to look forward to, but
Europa League round of 16.
The guy's going to actually have to be a wizard.
See you there.
Yeah.
Europa League round of 16. We'll watch it together.
Can't wait, buddy.
I'll take the day off.
Also, just so you know, I mentioned this in the show, but the only FC lost for semifinals 1-0 on weekends. Played not too great. We still had many more chances. I did kind of spill the goal a little bit. It was the rebound.
Oh, you played net.
Yeah, the rebound I shouldn't have let out. It was like Dave fluffed a pass, and
Back
then
to you.
no, it was like at midfield, and then he busted his ass. Like he recovered really nicely and forced the guy like wide enough so like because the guy was coming and Dave kind of forced him to his right, and he hit it well. He hit it well and like low and like across, but I really still should have secured it. And rebound just fell the other guy. Yeah, and their keeper made a few great saves. We didn't play very well. We still dominated the possession and chances.
Nothing to show for it.
Nothing, nada.
Sorry, I couldn't be there.
Yeah, well, you should be.
Sorry, I had to give my own.
Yeah,
and which we lost. The ref screwed us. But
I assume screwed us.
Well, I understand why I did the red, but it's just like it's mentally you gotta be able to take that. Right? If a kid says that to you, like I get it, but again, that's a.
Oh, what he gets one red for nothing option.
So it was 1-1, and yeah, pretty much. Wow. One of our guys made the cleanest tackle. He called a foul and gave our guy a yellow. So our goalie, after we were all huddled around him, and our goalie from afar just said, "Ref, are you fucking retarded?" And he made a 20-yard sprint with his hand in his back pocket, right? So like his decision was made, right? So in the rundown, like, "Ref, really," because like he knows like he's running with his hand in his pocket before he gets to the keeper and waits till he gets to the keeper. Red card. The game was pretty much over then. Well, actually,
how old was the ref?
I would say about our age. I wouldn't say like 2 years either older or younger, but I would say I would lean more to younger, about our age.
PC ref.
Yeah, and it was just worse because in the second half, a guy on their team tried to draw a foul. He said no, and then he said, "Ref, that's a foul. Are you a fucking joke?" And nothing. Wow. He pretended he didn't hear it. Right after the game, we spoke to him. He said, "Yeah, like it was quiet, and your goalie said it from like 30 yards out, so everyone could hear it, right? And once everyone can hear it, I have to give the red, right?" And he said, "I didn't really hear the other one, right? And the fans didn't hear it for sure. So because then I can let it go.
No public humiliation.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, and like, when you're playing mentally, you know."
How many people show up to your games?
To watch?
Yeah.
That was probably like 30.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not too much.
I mean,
but it's just mentally, right? It's just
sure.
It's like stuff like that's going to be said, right? And if you're reffing mentally, you ref for a while, so you've heard it all, and it's pretty much managing people. That's what it is.
When you retire, you're joining the LNFC, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You promise?
Well, when I retire?
When you retire from this team, you join the LNFC?
Yeah, I'll play for fun. But unless if I have games, if I have to ref.
Do you promise?
I'm trying to make it to the big leagues.
Do you promise? You solemnly swear?
Yeah, I'll play.
On this stream?
I'll play. Here we go. Yes.
You'll play what?
I, Michael Holder, will play for the LNFC once I retire from Panathinaikos.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Locked it in.
You heard it here first.
Locked it in. Okay, good.
You're
retiring after the season.
Right? I hope you get that semifinal berth.
I know.
Eric scored. Great goal by Eric.
Ringer of the year, Michael Holder. Okay. All right, guys. We'll be back. Back next week. And you know what? I'm going to plot a feature for us, and Mike and I will put our heads together and figure something else out. Because we have a lot of transfer talk to do, because we haven't done an episode for like 3 weeks or 4.
I think 2.
No. Definitely 3.
2 would have been
definitely 3. We were supposed to last week.
Yeah, it was my sister's birthday. We weren't gonna do dinner on the actual day, and then we decided last second to do it on the day.
We'll figure out a feature, and I'm sure there'll be some transfer stuff, and the season will be that much closer. Maybe a little fancy prem talk too.
Yeah.
It's getting early. It's coming up.
I saw her on her birthday, but Stacy, here's your shout out, your birthday shout out.
Oh, happy birthday! Happy belated, Stacy. I wish you happy birthday. Okay. All right.
Here's this episode's dedicated to you.
I'll allow it. Okay, see you guys.
Soon. I guess we didn't even talk about Ronaldo.